Chapter 10 Treasure Again. Annie found her voice first. The M person, she whispered. Yes, I am the M person, said Morgan. Where are you from? Asked Jack. Have you ever heard of King Arthur? Said Morgan. Jack nodded. Well, I am King Arthur's sister, said Morgan. You're from Camelot? Said Jack. I've read about Camelot. What did you read about me, Jack? Said Morgan. You're a witch, Morgan smiled. You can't believe everything you read, Jack. But are you a magician? Said Annie. Most call me an enchantress, but I'm a librarian, said Morgan. A librarian? Said Annie. Yes, and I've come to the 20th century your time to collect books. You're lucky to be born in a time with so many books. For the Camelot Library? Asked Jack. Precisely, said Morgan. I travel in this treehouse to collect words from many different places around the world and from many different time periods. Did you find books here? Said Jack. Oh, yes. Many wonderful books. I wanted to borrow them for our scribes to copy. Did you put all the bookmarks in them? Said Jack. Yes, you see, I like the pictures in the books. Sometimes I wanted to visit the scenes in the pictures. So all the bookmarks mark places I wish to go. How do you get there? Asked Annie. I placed a spell on the treehouse, said Morgan. So when I point to a picture and make the wish, the treehouse takes me there. I think you dropped this in dinosaur times, said Jack. He handed the gold medallion to Morgan. Oh, thank you. I wondered where I'd lost it, she said. She put the medallion into a hidden pocket in her cape. So, can anybody work the spell? Asked Annie. Anybody who tries it? Oh dear, no. Not just anybody, Morgan said. You too are the only ones besides me to do it. No one else has ever even seen my treehouse before. Is it invisible? Asked Annie. Yes, said Morgan. I had no idea it would ever be discovered. But then you two came along. Somehow you hooked right into my magic. How? Asked Jack. Well, for two reasons, I think, explained Morgan. First, Annie believes in magic, so she actually saw the treehouse, and her belief helped you to see it, Jack. Oh man, said Jack. Then you picked up a book, Jack, and because you love books so much, you caused my magic spell to work. Wow, said Annie. You can't imagine my dismay when you started to take off for dinosaur times. I had to make a very quick decision, and I decided to come along. Oh, so you were the pteranodon, said Annie. Morgan smiled. And the cat, and the knight, and Polly, said Annie. Yes, said Morgan softly. You wore all these things to help us? Asked Jack. Yes, but I must go home now. The people in Camelot need my help. You're leaving? Whispered Jack. I'm afraid I must, said Morgan. She picked up Jack's backpack and handed it to him. Jack and Annie picked up their raincoats. It had stopped raining. You won't forget us, will you? Asked Annie, as they put their raincoats on. Never, said Morgan. She smiled at both of them. You remind me too much of myself. You loved impossible, Annie, and you love knowledge, Jack. What better combination is there? Morgan Le Fay touched Annie's forehead gently, and then Jack's. She smiled. Goodbye, she said. Goodbye, said Annie and Jack. Annie left the treehouse first. Jack followed. They climbed down the rope ladder for the last time. They stood below the oak tree and looked up. Morgan was looking out the window. Her long white hair blew in the breeze. Suddenly, the wind began to blow. The leaves began to shake. A loud whistling sound filled the air. Jack covered his ears and squeezed his eyes shut. Then everything was silent, absolutely silent. Jack opened his eyes. The treehouse was gone, all gone, absolutely gone. Annie and Jack stood a moment, staring up at the empty oak tree, listening to the silence. Annie sighed. Let's go, she said softly. Jack just nodded. He felt too sad to speak. As they started working, he put his hands into his pockets. He felt something. Jack pulled out the gold medallion. Look, he said. Hold it. Annie smiled. Morgan must have put it there, she said. But how? Magic, said Annie. I think it means she'll be coming back. Jack smiled. He clutched the medallion as he and Annie took off through the wet, sunny woods. As they walked, the sun shined through the woods, and all the wet leaves sparkled. Everything, in fact, was shining. Leaves, branches, puddles, bushes, grass, vines, wildflowers, all glitters like jewels, all gleamed like gold. Annie had been right, thought Jack. Forget the treasure chest. They had a treasure at home, a ton of it, everywhere. The end. Okay, thanks for listening. 드디어 매직트리하우스 Book 4 Pirates Past Noon 챕터 10까지 완독하신 걸 축하드립니다. 마지막으로 챕터 10에 있는 수거를 한번 알아보도록 할게요. 네, place a spell이에요. spell. 이 spell이란 단어는 우리가 알파벳 스펠링을 쓰다 할 때 그 spell도 되는데요. 어떤 마법사들이나 마술사들이 스펠을 주문을 걸다 할 때 그 단어 의미도 있어요. spell. 네, place 장소라는 명사가 아니라 place a spell 하면 오히려 주문을 걸다 라는 수거가 됩니다. 주문을 걸다. place a spell. walk the spell. 아까는 place였는데요. 이번엔 work라고 해서 이 work가 일하다 뿐만이 아니라 어떤 기계, TV나 뭐 이제 가전제품 같은 경우는 작동하다, 동작하다 라는 의미도 있고요. 여기서 마법이 작동되게 하는 거예요. 주문이 걸리게 하는 거죠. work the spell. hook into. 네, 후크 선장의 후크 아시나요? 그 후크처럼 후크 어떤 뭔가 꼬리, 그 걸개에 딱 끼는 거잖아요. 그런 게 꽂히는 거예요. hook into, 뭐뭐 안으로 꽂혀서 연결된 이라는 의미가 있어요. hook into. come along, 함께 가다, 함께 오다, 도착하다. come along. remind A of me, B에서 A에게 B를 생각나게 하다. remind A of B. a ton of 하면 우리 보통 톤은 1kg가 아니고 1000kg가 1톤이 되죠. 1000kg가 1kg. 어마어마한 무게거든요. 그렇기 때문에 정말 많은 양, a lot of보다 더 많은 양을 생각하시면 좋을 것 같아요. a ton of. 아주 충분한 차고 넘치는 의미로 쓰여요. 여기까지 Chapter 10 잘 따라와 주셨어요. Pirate past noon. 네, 이 magician 또는 librarian, 도서관 사서라고 부르는 이 모건리를 처음 만나게 된 북 4였는데요. 그동안 북 1부터 3까지의 미스터리가 해결되긴 했지만 왠지 아쉬움이 남는 그래서 책이 굉장히 무척 아쉬워하죠. 애니보다도요. 맨 마지막에 a ton of treasure가 뭘까요? 여러분 뭐라고 생각하세요? 우리 주변 어디에나 있는 보물. 정말 그 섬에 놓고 온 보물 상자가 좀 아쉽기는 했는데 사실 알고 보면 우리 주변에는 많은 보물들이 있다라는 거. 곰돌이 푸에도 나오죠? 행복은 항상 우리랑 같이 있다는 거 기억하시면서 즐거운 주말 보내시고요. 행복한 주말 보내시고요. 다음 주 월요일부터는 북 5예요. 북 5를 함께 같이 읽어보도록 하겠습니다. Okay, bye bye everyone. See you next time.